Welcome to Amy Learns to Cook, Winter Edition. I'm Eric, and on today's show, I'm going to show how to do survival cooking. That's when pizza delivery is not an option, as today we got a little bit of a blizzard going, 20 mile an hour winds gusting to 40, 2 to 3 feet drifts. It's really nice out here. I love this. But the average family isn't really prepared. What happens if you have a power outage? How are you going to cook your food? Do you have a generator? Do you have a whole house generator? Are you just going to go ahead and light up a Coleman in your garage and hope carbon monoxide doesn't blow something up and kill you and all that good stuff? Of course not. You got to be safe about things. So today's show, I'm going to cook some bacon wrapped chicken out on my charcoal grill like I normally do in the summer, except I got a little bit of white stuff. So join me as I do my survival cooking on Amy Learns to Cook. As you know, in any winter situation, hypothermia and heart attacks are some big concerns, right? Because as people get cold, you run the risk of dying. But also, people run the risk of dying from burning their house up, getting carbon monoxide poisoning, not realizing it, cooking with kerosene. All kinds of crazy things happen. Now, luckily in our house, we still got about 40 bags of charcoal, so we can outlast an indefinite power outage. We would just throw our food out in the snow to keep it cold. I do have a generator if I really wanted to heat up a hot plate or keep the internet going for Amy. But for most families, are you really going to go outside and lug out your grill? Well, if push comes to shove, that's what you really got to do. You got to learn how to deal with the elements. You can't go out in shorts and flip-flops, right? Because you might get hypothermia and die. So today, I'm going to show you how to do stuff, and you're going to need some basic tools. First of all, we have a snow shovel. This is great because it's got a great handle. You can go and scoop, you can toss things, and you're not really going to, hurt yourself. It is a marathon sometimes, so you just have to shovel slowly as time goes on, right? I personally would wait till the storm's over before I do any crazy shoveling out here. But for the deck, and especially to get to the 6-pack of beer I buried yesterday, I'm going to need one of these things. Also, you might need a snow brush. When I moved out here, I didn't know what a snow brush was. I used my credit card to do the windshield. As you know, credit cards don't work too well in 2 feet of snow. And if I've got to knock my Weber, the snow off that, I'm going to need something like this. A regular house floor broom is a little grody for that. I wouldn't want anything that touches the floor to touch anything that my meat is on. So this is a pretty good alternative. Otherwise, you just use your paws. Speaking of which, you see I've got these Caltrans orange colored gloves for a reason. If you fall, nobody's going to see you, but you can raise your hand, and guess what? They can send a St. Bernards with the little kegs on them after you. So by all means, if you go outdoors, let your loved ones know where you're at and how long you plan on being out there. And if they do have internet, hopefully they'll be distracted enough to come save you if you yell for them. Carrying a cell phone on you is always a great idea, so that way you can call them and get them to come out and get you. Because if you fall and hurt yourself, you don't want to freeze and die. So these are some of the concerns we have when you're outdoors in extreme weather. If you're outdoors in nice weather, great, good for you. But New Jersey alone today has 90,000 power outages, according to CNN. Virginia and Maryland have their fair share. We luckily are good, but I want to show you how to behave in bad weather. So this is what we're dealing with outside today. As you can see, we got a couple of feet of snow that's been blown up on our Weber, and we got drifts all around it. So we're going to use the tools that I showed you a minute ago, and we're going to clear all that out, and then we're going to fire up the Weber, and we're going to cook some tasty chicken. So this is a little cave I was telling you about. I don't know if we can zoom in on that. Yeah, Modelo! How deep this mess is. So that's where I basically piled most of the snow. Then you can see there's the Weber kettle grill, cone head. We should play a game called Identify the Cone Heads. Know your cone heads. That's pretty much our patio chair table set. Here's a second table set, some chairs, and then that's the smoker right there. And there's a table I'm going to use to assist with all this. So let's get some charcoal going. All right, so with WSMs, you can go ahead and pull the top parts off where the racks are, and you're going to get the area where the fire pit is. And all the vents are open down there, which is good. I'm going to do basically a full minion on this thing. I'm filling this baby up. Usually reserved for long cooks. I want heat, baby, and I don't want to mess around. So I got him pretty much full up. I'm going to go ahead and just flatten that out a little bit. I'm going to put this back on. Actually, see, can I cheat that a little bit? Yeah, he looks cute. So I'm going to put the lid on there so that stays dry. Get him out here for a second, I guess. If you're somebody that likes you know, using those log starters, I say good for you. Me, I like chimneys. I think it'll tolerate this wind and everything. A little bit of newspaper, got a little snow on it, so that's not going to be too happy, but oh well, right? We're going to fill this guy up, and if I really want, I'd get 2 chimneys going, but I think we'll be okay with the 1. All right, let's go ahead and get this in here. And then it'd be nice to get a little protection on that stuff. Hey, how you doing? Hey, nice yard. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to use this lid. I've got the vents on this open. We don't want to starve the charcoal of any oxygen, right? So we can see the smoke's coming out of there. And I think in probably about 20 minutes or so, it'll be good to go, right? And in the meantime, it's time to investigate this little cave of mine. And beer is alcohol, right? Therefore, it doesn't quite freeze. Just some of the smoke from the chimney that's still going. We got about another 5 minutes and it'll be ready to go. All right, we're going to play musical chairs here for a second. We don't need the lid for the Weber kettle anymore. Close that lid up. That's looking pretty good. So let's go ahead and move this over. Looking a little. So that charcoal there is going pretty good. We're going to pull this guy's lid off. We're going to move him over. We're going to put this guy in. Of course, the smoke's getting my eyes, so that's not too fun. So there we go. So that's good. This chimney's pretty hot. Luckily, this pad over here is heat resistant, if I can find it. If you don't have one, or can't find it, like I can't find mine, I'll just temporarily put them right there on the kettle grill. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and kind of half reassemble that guy. He's doing okay there. I want that. Now also I got to get this side back on, or else the heat will never go. Okay, so we have already put my chicken on the lower level, the WSM. Topper level, I'm going to go and put Amy's breasts. So I have bacon wrapped thighs down there. She's going with boneless, skinless breasts that we've already seasoned the breasts a little bit. We've already brined them. We put a little bit of this Weber kicking chicken on them. And now I'm just putting the actual chicken breast, if this stuff holds up. The bacon wants to be a little pain here. We got toothpicks holding all this stuff together, and I went ahead and I used a little bit of extra virgin olive oil to make the bacon really happy, right? Now we're going to be putting some extra rub. So we have rub on the actual chicken. Now we're going to put some rub on the bacon. Now what's going to happen here, if I can get some room here for this little guy, is this will create extra flavor. Amy didn't want me to skimp. And of course my fingers are all soaked now. So I hope I get a little bit on here for her. I don't think she's going to mind. Smoke is getting in my eyes, so this is pretty terrible. But just show them what's going on, right? So that last little guy looks like he might have been a little shortchanged, so we'll get him hooked up in a minute. So we're going to put this lid back on, and we're going to let this stuff cook for probably 2 hours. The WSM needs to come back up to temperature. It doesn't like to be open, especially out in this cold. But it's been holding about 225 to 250. Now for the fun part. We had the meat on the smoker now for about 2 hours, around 250 degrees, and it looks fabulous. But let's go ahead and taste it, right? So we're going to go ahead and pull out these pulling out these toothpicks here. And we're just going to have a little sample here. And let's see how this, get some bacon here. That's really tasty. The brine helped the chicken become moist, or retain its moisture, shall I say. The bacon bacon's tasty, of course. Small it is. I definitely give this a thumbs up. If you're doing this as part of an emergency cook, then this by far exceeds standards. If you're doing it as part of just cooking regular, or cooking in bad weather, cooking in cold weather or whatever, then you know, you always got to be a little more careful than when it's more comfortable out there. You don't want to get a hypothermia or anything like that. You don't want to get wet outside and then get a cold out of it. But I think this turned out great. So we're going to take some of this chicken and hack it up and put it over rice. I think this is going to be really tasty. But you can do anything you want with this. You can make sandwiches, do anything with it. So I give this my thumbs up. If you like this video, then please subscribe below, leave a comment, give us a thumbs up and a like, and go ahead and visit our website, amylearnstocook.com, and visit us on Pinterest and Twitter at Amy Learns to Cook.